I'm in Liam Torres's Capitol Hill apartment at 8:47 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and my boyfriend is standing on top of Mount Rainier. The morning light is streaming through Liam's windows. I can see the Space Needle from his bed, the city waking up below us. It's a beautiful August day in Seattle. Clear, warm, the kind of day climbers dream about for summit attempts. My phone is buzzing on the nightstand. I reach for it, still half asleep. Ryan's name on the screen, a text, and a photo. Sophie, I'm at the summit, 14,411 feet. I can see everything. Mount Adams, Mount Hood, the whole Cascade Range. I left Jake's photo here like I planned. It's done. I faced it. I finally faced it. I love you so much. Couldn't have done this without you. Thank you for these 3 years. Thank you for believing I could heal. See you soon. The photo shows Ryan in full mountaineering gear. Red down jacket, climbing helmet, glacier glasses, ice axe in one gloved hand. In his other hand, he's holding a small framed photo of his younger brother, Jake. Behind him is the summit marker. Mount Rainier, 14,411 feet, Columbia Crest. You can see the curvature of the earth in the background, other peaks jutting up through clouds. Ryan's face is partially obscured by his sunglasses and the high-altitude cold, but I can tell he's crying. He made it. After 18 months of training, after 7 years of guilt, after 3 years of me supporting him through therapy and grief groups and panic attacks about mountains, he summited. Liam's looking over my shoulder at the phone. He made it. Good for him. That's a huge accomplishment. Liam's voice is casual, professional. He's been a climbing guide for 8 years. He's seen hundreds of people summit Rainier. To him, this is just another successful climb. But to Ryan, this is everything. This is healing. This is honoring his dead brother. This is facing the fear that's paralyzed him since Jake fell into a crevasse on Mount Hood 7 years ago. And I should be at Paradise Lodge right now, the base camp at 5,400 feet where climbers stage before summit attempts. I should be tracking Ryan's GPS beacon, waiting anxiously for his return, ready to hug him when he staggers back, exhausted and transformed after the hardest physical and emotional challenge of his life. Instead, I'm 2.5 hours away in Seattle, in his climbing guide's bed. My phone screen shows 73 missed calls from a 360 number I recognize as Paradise Lodge. The base camp staff trying to reach me. Ryan's probably been radioing down from the summit, asking them to call me, wanting to share this moment. I silence the phone. Liam sits up, stretches. You should probably head back up to Paradise. He'll be down in a few hours. Those summit pushes are brutal. He's going to want to see you. I know. So? I don't know if I can do this anymore. Liam looks at me with something between sympathy and exasperation. You've been saying that for months. He's right. I have been saying it, but I haven't done anything about it, until now. Until this moment when Ryan's standing on top of a mountain honoring his dead brother, and I'm here instead of there. But let me start from the beginning, so you can understand how I became the woman who betrayed her boyfriend on his summit day. I met Ryan Mitchell 3 years ago at a friend's barbecue in Seattle. I was 22, newly graduated from nursing school, working my first job at Swedish Medical Center. He was 25, a software developer at Amazon, quiet and withdrawn in a way that made him stand out in the crowd of extroverted tech bros. We ended up talking in the kitchen while everyone else was outside. He was refilling his beer when I came in for water. Not a fan of crowds? I asked. Not really. You. I work in a hospital. I get enough people during the week. He smiled, small, tentative. What kind of nursing? ER. It's intense, but I like it. You must see a lot of difficult things. Death mostly, accidents, people at their worst moments. Something changed in his face when I said that, a shadow. That must be hard. It is. But someone has to be there. We talked for an hour. He was intelligent, thoughtful, sad in a way that felt profound rather than performative. When he asked for my number, I said yes. Our first date was coffee. Our second was a walk around Green Lake. Our third was dinner, and that's when he told me about Jake. I had a younger brother, Ryan said carefully, like the words hurt. Jake. He died 7 years ago. Hiking accident on Mount Hood. I'm so sorry. He was 19. I was 21. We were supposed to go on that trip together. It was a graduation thing for him. High school senior trip with friends. But I had a work deadline. I was interning at Microsoft, trying to impress them for a full-time offer. So I canceled last minute. He was staring at his plate, not eating. Jake went anyway, with 3 friends. They weren't experienced climbers. They didn't have proper gear. Jake wanted to get a summit photo. He went ahead of the group, got too close to a cornice, an overhanging snow formation, and it collapsed. He fell into a crevasse, 70 feet. Oh my God. It took rescue teams 6 hours to reach him. He was alive when they found him, conscious, but he'd broken his back. They couldn't get him out before hypothermia set in. He died on that mountain. And I was in Seattle at my internship, optimizing code. The guilt in his voice was overwhelming. Ryan, that's not your fault. It is, though. If I'd been there, I would have stopped him. I was always the careful one. Jake was impulsive, brave. I would have held him back from that cornice. But I wasn't there because I chose work over my brother. He started crying then. Quiet, devastated tears. I reached across the table and held his hand. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine. I haven't been on a mountain since, can't even look at them. Every time I see the Cascades from Seattle, I think about Jake dying alone in the cold. That was our third date. Most people would have run, but I was a nurse. I was trained to handle trauma, to provide comfort in dark moments. And Ryan clearly needed comfort. We started dating seriously after that. But dating Ryan meant dating his grief too. Every conversation eventually circled back to Jake. Ryan would see something that reminded him of his brother, a song, a type of beer, a Seahawks game, and spiral into sadness. He was in therapy, attending a grief support group, trying to process. But 7 years later, the wound was still raw. When does it get better? I asked him 6 months into our relationship. I don't know, maybe never. Is that okay? I told him it was okay, because I loved him. And because I was 23 and believed love meant accepting someone's pain. For 2 years, I supported Ryan through his grief, attended support group meetings with him, listened when he needed to talk about Jake, held him when the guilt overwhelmed him. Our apartment had photos of Jake everywhere. Ryan couldn't let go. My friends asked questions. Is he always this sad? When do you get to be the focus? Are you his girlfriend or his therapist? I defended him. He's healing. Grief takes time. He's a good person going through something hard. But privately, I was exhausted. Every weekend was dictated by Ryan's emotional state. Every conversation required me to be supportive, understanding, patient. I was 24 years old working 12-hour ER shifts, and I came home to be someone's grief counselor. Then 18 months ago, Ryan made an announcement. I think I need to climb Mount Rainier, he said one night. What? I've been talking to my therapist. She thinks confronting mountains might help. I've been avoiding them for 7 years because of Jake. But maybe facing them, summiting Rainier, would be healing. Like honoring Jake instead of running from the memory. Ryan, that's a huge undertaking. Rainier is serious. People die on that mountain. I know. That's why I need to do it. To prove I can face it. To prove Jake's death doesn't control me anymore. He looked more animated than I'd seen him in 2 years. Like he'd found purpose. Okay, I said. If you think it'll help, I support you. I thought it would be a phase. A few training hikes, maybe a guided climb, done. I didn't realize it would consume the next 1.5 years of our lives. Ryan hired a professional guide company that specializes in Rainier climbs. The lead guide assigned to him was Liam Torres, 31, professional mountaineer, 8 years of experience guiding Rainier and other peaks in the Cascades. The training protocol was intense. 18 months of conditioning. Monthly practice, climbs on smaller mountains. Mount Si for endurance, Mount Baker for glacier experience. Strength training, cardio, altitude simulation, gear purchases, boots, crampons, ice axes, down jackets, thousands of dollars, every weekend dedicated to training. I met Liam on the first training climb, a day hike up Mount Si, a 4,000-foot elevation gain in 4 miles. Ryan was nervous, overthinking every step. Liam was patient, encouraging, professional. "You're doing great," Liam told Ryan at the summit. "This is exactly the kind of fitness you need for Rainier." During breaks, Liam would chat with me while Ryan rested. "How long have you two been together?" 2 years. He mentioned he lost his brother on a mountain. That's heavy. It's been hard for him? Mountains can be healing, or they can break you. We'll see which way it goes. Liam was handsome in that rugged outdoorsman way. Tanned, muscular, confident. He moved through the mountains like they were his living room. The opposite of Ryan, who climbed with visible fear and constant second-guessing. The training climbs became routine. Once a month, sometimes twice, Ryan would wake up at 4 a.m., anxious and prepared. We'd drive to whichever mountain was on the training schedule. Liam would lead, I'd follow. Ryan would struggle behind, pushing himself. After each climb, Liam would text me, "Ryan did great today. He's getting stronger." It felt professional at first, a guide keeping the support system informed. But the texts got more frequent, more personal. "How are you holding up? Training schedule is tough on partners too." "Tired. Every weekend is mountains now?" "That's a lot to give. He's lucky to have you." 10 months into training, Liam suggested coffee after a climb. Ryan was showering at the REI in Seattle, and Liam and I were waiting in the parking lot. "There's a cafe across the street," Liam said. "Want to debrief while he cleans up?" We talked for 2 hours, about Ryan, about the training, about Liam's life as a guide. "I've lost people on mountains," Liam said at one point. 3 clients over 8 years. One on Rainier. He ignored my instructions, got altitude sickness, couldn't descend fast enough. One on Denali, avalanche, nothing anyone could do. One on Mount Baker, fell into a crevasse, rope broke. That's horrible. It is, but mountains are dangerous. People know the risks. You can't torture yourself when things go wrong. Ryan's brother, that wasn't Ryan's fault, but he's been punishing himself for 7 years. I know, I keep telling him that. How much longer can you be his grief support? You're his girlfriend, not his therapist. The question hit hard. I love him. But are you happy? I didn't have an answer. Liam and I started texting more after that. About climbing, about Ryan, about life. He was easy to talk to. No heavy emotional baggage, no dead brother haunting every conversation. Just a guy who climbed mountains for a living and accepted risk as part of life. Ryan talks about Jake constantly. I texted Liam one night after a particularly difficult evening. It's been 7 years. I'm tired of being patient. You're not dating him, Liam replied. You're dating his dead brother's memory. That sentence unlocked something I'd been feeling but couldn't articulate. I wasn't Ryan's partner. I was Jake's memorial. 6 months before the summit, Liam and I started meeting for coffee regularly. Always when Ryan was at work or distracted. We'd talk about my life, my job, my frustrations, my dreams, things Ryan never asked about anymore because he was too consumed with training and grief. "What do you want, Sophie?" Liam asked one afternoon. "For yourself, not for Ryan." "I don't know anymore. I thought I wanted to build a life with him, but he's so stuck in the past." Mountains teach you to stay present. The past doesn't matter when you're on a technical climb, only the next step. I wish Ryan could do that. He can't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. 3 months before summit day, after a particularly grueling training climb where Ryan had a panic attack at 12,000 feet, Liam drove me home. Ryan was riding with another climber. We sat in Liam's car outside my apartment. "You deserve better than this," Liam said. "Better than what?" "Better than spending your 20s managing someone else's trauma." Then he kissed me, and I kissed him back. "I can't do this," I said, pulling away. "Ryan's summiting in 3 months. I can't." "I know. I'm sorry. But I needed you to know." I went inside feeling guilty and relieved and confused. Guilty because I'd betrayed Ryan. Relieved because someone saw me as more than a grief counselor. Confused because I didn't know what I wanted anymore. Liam and I didn't talk about the kiss. But the tension was there on every subsequent training climb, and when Liam texted, I responded immediately. 2 months before summit, Liam finished a guided climb and texted, "My place tonight?" I should have said no. Should have stayed loyal to Ryan, who was home preparing gear and talking about how the summit would finally free him from Jake's death. I went to Liam's apartment anyway. We slept together that night while Ryan was at home planning the climb that was supposed to heal him. Afterward, lying in Liam's bed, I felt the full weight of what I'd done. "This has to stop," I told Liam. "Okay." But it didn't stop. It happened again the next week, and the week after that. Always when Ryan was occupied, at work, at the gym, at a climbing prep meeting. I was living a double life. Supportive girlfriend to Ryan by day, person seeking escape with Liam by night. Summit week arrived. Ryan was a bundle of nerves. The final climb was scheduled for Friday night into Saturday morning. Climbers leave Camp Muir at 1 a.m. for the summit push, a 12-hour round trip through darkness and danger. "I'm terrified," Ryan admitted Wednesday night. "What if I can't do it? What if I panic like last time? You've trained for 18 months. You're ready. What if something happens? What if I fall? Liam will keep you safe. That's his job. I need you there, Sophie, at Paradise Lodge, waiting for me. Knowing you're there will keep me going. I'll be there." Thursday, Ryan drove up to Mount Rainier with his climbing group. They'd spend Thursday night at Paradise Lodge, then hike to Camp Muir, 10,188 feet. On Friday, rest and attempt the summit early Saturday morning. I was supposed to drive up Friday and wait at Paradise Lodge for his return. Instead, Friday night, Liam texted, "Different group tomorrow. I'm free. Come to Seattle. I'm supposed to be at Paradise." He won't know until he's done. You can drive up after. Be there for his return. I knew this was wrong. Knew this was the betrayal that couldn't be undone. But I was so tired. Tired of Ryan's grief. Tired of being supportive. Tired of Jake's ghost haunting our relationship. Friday night, Ryan video called me from Camp Muir. He was in his tent, surrounded by climbing gear, nervous but determined. "Tomorrow I finally do this," he said. "I'm going to stand on top of Rainier with Jake's photo. And when I come down, I'll be different, healed, free, and we can finally have our life together. I'm proud of you. I love you, Sophie. Thank you for giving me 3 years to heal. Tomorrow is the start of something new for us." The guilt was crushing, but I smiled. "I love you too. Be safe." Saturday morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. in my own apartment. Ryan had left Camp Muir at 1 a.m. I'd been tracking his GPS beacon on my phone. He was climbing through darkness, using headlamps and roped to his team, navigating crevasses and ice fields. At 6:30 a.m., Liam texted, "Coffee? Ryan's summiting today." "I know. Come anyway. You can drive up to Paradise after. Be back before he descends." I made the worst decision of my life. I got dressed and drove to Seattle. I arrived at Liam's apartment at 7:30 a.m. Ryan was somewhere around 13,000 feet, pushing through exhaustion and altitude sickness toward the summit. Liam and I didn't talk about Ryan, didn't acknowledge what we were doing. We just existed in this separate reality where Ryan's climb wasn't happening, where his dead brother wasn't hovering over everything. At 8:47 a.m., my phone buzzed with Ryan's summit text. And I was here, in bed with his climbing guide, while Ryan stood on top of Mount Rainier crying and holding his brother's photo. Liam saw my face when I read the text. "You need to go." "I know. Now, Sophie. He's going to descend and expect you at Paradise Lodge. Drive time is 2.5 hours. He'll be down by 2 p.m. I got dressed in a panic. Drove north on I-5 toward Mount Rainier, speeding, trying to calculate whether I could make it before Ryan reached Paradise Lodge. My phone kept ringing. The Paradise Lodge number, the base camp staff trying to reach me. I didn't answer. Couldn't explain where I'd been. At 11:30 a.m., I was still an hour away when Ryan texted again, "Descending now. Exhausted but happy. Can't wait to see you." I arrived at Paradise Lodge at 1:45 p.m. parked, ran to the base camp office. "I'm here for Ryan Mitchell," I told the ranger at the desk. "His climb?" "Finally. We've been trying to reach you all morning. He's been radioing asking about you." "I'm sorry, my phone died. Is he down?" "Not yet. They should be back within the hour. You can wait in the lodge." I sat in the Paradise Lodge cafeteria, surrounded by tourists and day hikers, my stomach in knots. Through the windows, I could see the summit, this massive, glaciated peak that had consumed 18 months of our lives. At 2:30 p.m., Ryan's group appeared on the trail descending from Camp Muir. 8 climbers, exhausted, triumphant, moving slowly under the weight of their gear. I went outside to meet them. Ryan saw me and his face lit up, this huge, genuine smile. He dropped his pack and hugged me, still in his climbing gear, smelling like sweat and sunscreen. "I did it," he said into my shoulder. "I actually did it. 14,000 feet. I left Jake's photo at the summit. It's done. I'm so proud of you." He pulled back, looked at me. "Where were you this morning?" "I radioed down asking base camp to call you. They said they couldn't reach you. My phone died. I'm sorry, I should have charged it better." He wanted to believe me. I could see it. Wanted to believe his girlfriend hadn't missed the most important moment of his healing journey. "It's okay. You're here now." He kissed my forehead. "Let me get cleaned up. Then let's get dinner. I want to tell you everything." We drove back to Seattle that evening. Ryan talked the entire drive about the summit push, the fear at 13,000 feet, the moment he saw the sunrise from Columbia Crest, the way he felt leaving Jake's photo at the peak. "It was like letting go," he said. "Like Jake finally gave me permission to live without guilt." "That's beautiful. This is a new start for us, Sophie. I've been so consumed with grief. But now I can focus on us, on our future. I want to marry you, have a life, be present." The guilt was suffocating. He was planning our future while I'd spent his summit morning with another man. We got home around 9 p.m. Ryan collapsed on the couch, exhausted, fell asleep within minutes. I sat in the bathroom, staring at my phone. 73 missed calls from Paradise Lodge. Texts from Ryan throughout his descent. "Can't wait to see you. Love you so much. You made this possible." And then I saw it, a text from Liam. "Did you make it back in time?" I stared at that message for a long time. Then I blocked his number. For the next week, I pretended everything was normal. Ryan was riding the high of his summit, happier than I'd seen him in years, talking about the future, planning another climb, Mount Adams, something easier. He was healing, moving forward, and I was drowning in guilt. 10 days after the summit, Ryan came home early from work. "Can we talk?" My stomach dropped. "About what?" He pulled out his phone, showed me a screenshot. It was Liam's Instagram story from Summit Day. A photo of Liam's breakfast at a Seattle cafe, time-stamped 8:15 a.m. The caption, "Down day? Enjoying the city while my climbers summit." "Liam was in Seattle on Summit Day," Ryan said slowly. "He posted this while I was climbing." "Okay?" The Paradise Lodge call log shows 73 attempts to reach your phone between 6 a.m. and noon, all unanswered. "I told you, my phone died. Sophie, please, don't lie. I need the truth, eh?" The way he said it, so quiet, so defeated, broke me. "I wasn't at Paradise Lodge all morning," I admitted. "I went to Seattle." "Why?" "I don't know. I needed space. Were you with Liam?" Silence. "Sophie, please. Were you with Liam?" "Yes." I watched Ryan's face crumple. He sat down on the couch, still holding his phone with Liam's Instagram post. "While I was summiting, while I was on top of Rainier with Jake's photo, you were with my climbing guide." "Ryan, how long? 3 months?" 3 months? He repeated it like he didn't understand the words. "You've been sleeping with Liam for 3 months. While I was training. While I was preparing for the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm sorry. I texted you from the summit. I was crying, holding my brother's photo, and I texted you that I loved you. And you were with him. I know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you love him? I don't know. Do you still love me? Yes? But I don't know if that's enough anymore. Ryan set his phone down carefully on the coffee table, stood up, walked to the window overlooking Seattle and the mountains beyond. I asked you to wait for me at Paradise Lodge. That's all I asked. I spent 18 months training, 18 months healing, and on the one day that mattered most, you weren't there. I drove up. I was there when you descended, but you weren't there in the morning, when I was summiting, when I needed to know you were thinking of me. You were with someone else. Ryan, I stood on top of that mountain and I felt Jake with me. I felt like I'd finally honored him, finally let go of 7 years of guilt. And I thought about you, about how grateful I was, about how this was the start of our future. His voice cracked. And you were betraying me. I'm sorry. You keep saying that, but sorry doesn't fix this. He turned to face me. I need you to leave. Where am I supposed to go? I don't care. A friend's place, a hotel, back to Liam, anywhere but here. Can we talk about this? No, I gave you 3 years. You gave me what? Support while secretly resenting me? Patience while sleeping with my guide? I don't want to hear explanations. I just want you gone. I packed a bag while Ryan sat on the couch, staring at his summit photo on his phone. The one he texted me. The one showing him holding Jake's photo at 14,411 feet. At the door, I tried one more time. For what it's worth, I really am proud of you. You did something incredible. I know I did, but I'll never be able to look at that photo without thinking about where you were when I took it. Then he looked at me with red, exhausted eyes. Summiting isn't about reaching the peak. It's about who's waiting when you come down. I thought you'd be waiting, but you weren't. I left. 9 months later, I'm 26 years old and living in a different apartment in Seattle. 1 bedroom, similar rent, but without the photos of Jake, without Ryan's climbing gear taking up the living room, without the constant shadow of grief. Liam and I lasted 3 weeks after I moved out. He felt guilty about Ryan, uncomfortable with how it had all ended. Then his guiding company reassigned him. Alaska for the summer season, leading climbs on Denali. He's still there, posting photos with new clients, living his transient guide life. I was just one of many people who passed through. Ryan's still at Amazon, still climbing. His Instagram shows him summiting Denali last month, 20,310 feet, the highest peak in North America. The photo shows him at the summit, holding Jake's photo again, but this time there's a woman next to him. Her name is Marissa. She's a climber too. They met through a mountaineering group. The comments are full of brothers forever, and Jake would be so proud. He kept climbing, kept healing, kept honoring Jake. I was just temporary support during the dark chapter. I still work as an ER nurse. Still see trauma and death. Still know how to comfort people in their worst moments. But I couldn't comfort Ryan through his healing without destroying us. Sometimes I drive past Mount Rainier on clear days. I can see the summit from Seattle when the weather's right. This massive, white peak dominating the horizon. Ryan's up there somewhere in my memory, standing at 14,411 feet, crying and holding his brother's photo and texting me that he loved me. And I was in bed with his climbing guide. There's no redemption here, no lesson that makes it better. Just the knowledge that when someone needed me to show up, literally just be present at a lodge waiting, I chose to be somewhere else. Ryan climbed a mountain to honor his dead brother. I gave him 3 years of support, and on the one day that mattered most, I wasn't there. Summiting isn't about the peak. It's about the descent. It's about who's waiting at base camp with open arms and pride. Ryan needed me to be that person. I was 150 miles away with someone else. I don't expect forgiveness. Don't deserve it. I'm just the woman who betrayed her boyfriend on his summit day, who missed the moment of his healing because I was tired of being patient. That's who I am, and I have to live with that now.